Hello and welcome back to Jack Knives Reviews. I'm of course your host, Jack Knives. Today I'll be reviewing Saltburn. At Oxford University, student Oliver Quick finds himself drawn into the world of the charming and aristocratic Felix Catton. Felix invites him to his family's lavish estate, known as Saltburn, for a summer of degrading acts, sex, and betrayal. Okay, so what can I talk about in this movie? Well, first of all, the movie does deal with the concept of class system, dealing with that and living in English countryside, but it mainly deals with the concept of distrust. The whole concept of it is essentially, who do you know? Who do you trust? Who do you let into your doors? Who do you let into your home? And who can you trust? Emerald Fennell is the woman who wrote and directed this, making this her very first written and directing debut. And wow, what a debut. As you can tell, there's quite a lot of disturbing moments in this movie. So much so, I don't really know what I can really talk about. Let's just say there's stuff involving sex, there's stuff involving death, there's stuff involving gross things, there's family, there's backstabbing. It reads almost like a play. And I think that was the intention, because it obviously means a lot to have your first time filmmaking to make this is something. Barry Keoghan plays Oliver, a very weird, misunderstood person. Barry Keoghan is kind of slowly becoming a really great villain actor. As many may know, he is now casted to play the Joker in the new Matt Reeves Batman movies, which they already did a deleted scene with his Joker, and he's like this twisted, deformed, disgusting looking Joker, and you barely only see glances of it, but Barry Keoghan really does sell it. In this, he plays a different style of character that's in the similar vein, in that you don't know what's going on in his head. He's not a good person, but we don't know the extent of how twisted this guy is. We're just kind of along for the ride. It seems like everyone in this entire place is terrible, with the exception of maybe the young lady. Jacob Elordi plays Felix, the boy who's essentially kind of a love interest. I wouldn't really call him a love interest. He's kind of like Oliver is essentially wanting to be like Felix. He wants his life. He's jealous of his life. Oliver has nothing to go home to, essentially wanting to have everything that Felix has, but not quite have everything that Felix has. And I don't really know what I could say without giving too much away. There's a lot of betrayals. There's a lot of context clues that gives away the story, but doesn't give away too much of the story. Rosamund Pike plays this kind of drunk, hating the world kind of woman. If you've ever been around one of those relatives who just drinks and just tries to show off, but the stuff that they're showing off doesn't really matter, so that this stranger thinks of them in a higher light. That's essentially how her character is. I loved her in Gone Girl, and I think she did a great job here. The problem with the movie is that at times it can be really, really disturbing. But not in the disturbing kind of horror that I'm used to, but more in the disturbing of, like, it's awkward disturbing. Like, there are things in it that feel... It's like the equivalent of someone in your family telling you about their medical procedures while you're eating at the dinner table. That kind of feeling. That kind of gross unease. That's where this movie presides. Like, that's essentially where this movie is. It's its realm of, it wants to make you as uncomfortable without going too far, but even then, it goes way too far. And there are parts in it that you're just like, what the hell am I watching? I shouldn't be thinking that in this kind of a movie. This movie, it seemed like a straight A to B to C story progression, but it felt like Emerald Fennell wanted so badly to be something dynamic and different that she almost alienates the audience by going too dark, too different, too bizarre. I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to show the underlying underbelly of how people are behind closed doors despite what they project themselves in a high society system. I get that. But it almost goes overboard to the point where it becomes laughable at how awkward it is. I don't really know if I can recommend this movie because it's not bad. I mean, it's filmed beautifully. The set designs are amazing. The landscapes, the cinematography, the directing, the acting, everything seems to work, but it's just some of the decisions are just weird. Like, the graveyard scene is already famous online. People have talked about it to death without giving away anything. And the ending with the dance, if you know, you know. Why? It's just weird. I don't regret watching it. I don't think I, at the same time, can ever really recommend it as a rewatch. Maybe for a one and done viewing, but that's about it. I give Saltburn 2 out of 5. Have you seen Saltburn? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I'll see you next time.